Oh, hello everyone. I hope you're all well. Hope you're living your life according to the way you want to live it. You're being kind to yourself, kind to your family and friends, kind to your animals, more importantly, and also kind to your neighbours and just people in the street. This is for educational purposes only, so I don't take into account your financial position or your risk tolerance or your capital or your ability to take losses, and this document is purely for entertainment, education purposes only, and speculation, and just food for thought, basically. Just doing a quick rundown on Tron again. This coin particularly interests me. I do have a little bit of this myself as an investment, so I quite like it. Exactly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Tron. I have done a full review on it for my subscribers, my paying clients, but I just did a very simple valuation on this, and I believe that Tron, given my very simple valuation, can probably get to about 25 cents by December 2018 of this year, just on some of the metrics that I've used. No, I'm not saying it's going to get to $5 or $10. I could certainly say that, but I wouldn't have any reason to justify that like some other people may or may not. My belief is it can probably get to about 25 cents by December, just taking in a few assumptions that I've taken into on a very simple valuation. So very quickly, Tron is a decentralized blockchain portfolio that aims to basically build a free global digital entertainment system with distributed storage technology, and makes it very cost effective for users to use the system, but also for content providers to actually share their information and get paid for that. Basically established in 2017 by the Tron Foundation. It is in Singapore, and the CEO is Justin Sun, who's very well connected, has a lot of heavy backers behind him, some mega wealthy people behind him in China who are all very, very well connected. They either have mining services or head of the biggest fashion organization in China and these sort of things. So I'm not going to go through all that, but I just want to basically say Tron, in my mind, is trying to replicate Netflix. Netflix, as you know, is centralized. Tron is decentralized. Netflix roughly has about 130 million users. They charge subscriptions on a monthly basis. Here in Australia, they charge a subscription roughly about $13 Australian every month. They have pretty much something like 50 million users in America, don't quote me on these exact stats, and about 72 million users internationally, and those users are increasing by about 13 million a year. So what Tron's trying to do is obviously replace the centralized Netflix, which is obviously owned by a corporation and listed on the US stock exchange, and create it in a decentralized way for a global audience, and obviously using their cryptocurrency TRX to pay for their own blockchain, and to pay the content subscribers as well as the users paying the content subscribers. So that's pretty much what they're doing. They've come off the Ethereum blockchain. They had a lot of negativity to talk about Ethereum. They, obviously didn't work, and a few things were going on. And Justin Sun, the CEO, has basically said we are better than Ethereum and we're better than Bitcoin, because with their new blockchain, they say that they can process what they say 1,500 transactions per second. And once they get up and running with their main blockchain, they say they can process something like 10,000 transactions per second. That's got to be seen, no doubt. They've got to prove that. Also, they're saying they have smart contracts on their system, and they don't have some of the flaws that the Ethereum system has, and they can allow new users to put on their own apps on their blockchain. And obviously they're out there looking for users to do that as well. So I think it's a really interesting story. I think it's a very interesting coin, and also they've got mega connections in China, but also China being one of the largest countries in the world in terms of population, something like 1.4 billion people or something. And just looking at their internet users in China, it's something like 368 million. So we're talking huge figures here. If Tron get any as a percentage of any of these sort of figures, it's certainly going to be a very profitable business. And obviously the coin for usability and in terms of their blockchain usability, but also the coin should see some gain as well from that. Very quickly, if we look at Tron, it's on probably about 100 exchanges at least. Now that's a lot when you compare it to other cryptocurrencies out there. Tron is on a lot of different exchanges. It's on heaps of exchanges. Check out Coin Capital Markets and look under markets. They are on many different exchanges in Asia. Obviously on Bitfinex. They're also on one of the largest exchanges in Indonesia, and they're talking about getting on an exchange in India too, which is a very large population as well, massive population of 1.2 billion as well. So they're on many exchanges, probably more than any other coin I can see out there. If we do look at their sector is basically entertainment, sports, videos, and social. There are a lot of competitors in this sector, but certainly Tron has a lot of interest compared to other competitors. Massive amount of interest, and they have a lot of YouTubes on YouTube about them, and a lot of different people that are interested. They have about 1.2 million holders holding TRX. There is a big announcement coming on the 30th of July. We don't know what that announcement is going to be, but it looks like it's going to be a very big day for Tron, and people are actually holding out for that announcement. Now, it has been touted in the past that Alibaba was talking, maybe potentially there's a rumor that Alibaba was going to become one of their clients when they're on their own blockchain. As you know, Justin Sun is very close to Alibaba, has gone to the university. The Jack Ma, obviously is like a protege of. They're very close indeed, and they've got a very strong relationship. Anything could happen. Alibaba itself is an e-commerce site and basically has 552 million clients and growing, all out of China. So again, we're talking huge numbers here, really. Also, Tron took over BitTorrent, which I think is a really good acquisition. Now, BitTorrent effectively has about 170 million users on BitTorrent, and if you look under Wikipedia, you'll see all their clients, and there's a lot of different clients. Tron effectively acquired them for about $140 million. So I think that's a really good acquisition with as many users as they have. Now the thing is, if Tron monetizes those users of 170 mil, they're going to earn a very nice revenue stream, an annuity revenue stream, and that acquisition will certainly pay for itself. So there's certainly a lot going on with Tron, and there's a huge amount of opportunities. There's just no doubt about that. So if we just quickly go through some others, I want to make this video fairly short and sweet. The opportunities, again, there's been other news, which you can look at here, these references and everything. But, the opportunities are, they do have transaction fees, but they're very cheap. 1 million TRX on micro TRX. Apparently they're faster, very speedy compared to Ethereum or any, a lot of the other blockchains out there. They have coin burn. They have direct market penetration of something like 6 million. Justin Sun wants about 1 billion users. And, anything's possible given the markets that they're in. Again, as I said, they've got exposure to the Indonesian market. Indonesia's got a population again of 270 million, and that's a lot of people too. So they've got exposure to the largest markets in the world, being obviously India and China and Indonesia. So they seem to be very well positioned, I think, to grow. There's no doubt about that. If we go to the next slide, I want to keep this quite short. The next slide, where is it? So, they're doing all the right things. If you look at the architecture, and I'm not going to go too much into this, but just go to the next slide. They've just been put on BitMEX exchange, and they will soon be offering TRX futures contracts, which is interesting because you've got Bitcoin out there with futures contracts, you've got Ethereum out there, you've got XRP with futures contracts, and I think Tron is probably about the only fourth one that has futures contracts, and that will certainly change the way the coin trades. It'll get more users into trading Tron, more users that can actually trade futures, which is more the professional market. So that's a good story. Obviously, they've acquired, they're also doing stuff with Pornhub. As I said, Tron users are trying to get Netflix users. There's no doubt about that. They're they should be monetizing BitTorrent, no doubt about that. If we look at the architecture, it's very simple architecture. You've got the storage core and application. You've got the DApps. They've got storage and chain storage. You can now put Tron cryptocurrency on Ledger OS as well. Within their protocol, unlike Ethereum, they will accept all different types of language. So, they'll accept Java, Scala, C++, Python, and whatever. Ethereum only tends to accept one language. Again, this is just going through their architecture. They're based on a delegated proof of stake, which apparently is much more efficient and does things a lot more quickly, and is basically a bit more safer, apparently, so in terms of tech speak. Again, let's go forward. Justin Sun says that Tron is more advanced than, say, Ethereum, and believes that it will do better than Ethereum, and believes that its smart contract capability is better than Ethereum as well, and believes that more people to create DApps will go onto his platform, and even maybe potentially do ICOs and that sort of thing. So it should be pretty interesting going forward. Basically, Tron developers claim that their network is 400 times faster than the Ethereum network. So that's pretty interesting in itself. If we look at Tron itself, they did burn very recently, something like, I think it was 50 million TRX, but also they've locked up 33 billion tokens until 2020, that exact amount there. So basically, if you look at their circulating coins, it's basically 65 billion rather than 99 billion. So that, it helps support the price a little bit more. Also, the price is very cheap, 0.034, has been higher than that. And basically, with my valuation, I'm saying the price could easily get to 25 cents, around 25 cents by December of this year, December 2018. So that's interesting. And that's just on a very rough valuation. And as I said, they acquired BitTorrent, which is now called Rainbury Inc. And apparently with BitTorrent, which I think is very interesting, it means that Tron can become the dominant player in the fast-growing peer-to-peer data sharing ecosystem, but also with BitTorrent, apparently it gives them the capacity to mine as well. There's something in the BitTorrent architecture, sorry, I can't speak properly tonight, that gives them the ability, anyone think it had a drink, but I barely drink, it gives them the ability to mine as well, which is interesting. Also, they've got a partnership with Game and Hydro Protocol, and which is gaming. Also, gaming is big money business. It's growing enormous figures, trillions and trillions. Plus, gaming is one of the biggest things in China and Asia. The Asians love gaming. Also, Hydro Protocol has something to do with mining as well. So that's a pretty good story. If you look under the DApp radar and the state of the DApps, apparently Tron created some crypto strippers and apparently went to number 4 or something. So apparently a lot of the people that look at apps and develop apps look at these sites. The state of the apps, DApps, and what was the other one called? There's another one here called something else, state of the arts DApps and something DApp radar. So, that's pretty good. Also, they're partnered with Shift Markets, and CEO is John McPhee. And this market gives them access to 70 exchanges, but it also gives them access to foreign currency. Now, I think that's really interesting because giving them access to foreign currency means that they can get exposure to the foreign currency market, which pretty much is a huge global market, which is something like, 4 trillion to 6 trillion a day. And that means they can also get access to they can get another listing on Bitforex and basically do deposits and withdrawals and pretty much, get exposure to the foreign exchange market. So effectively, Tron is now looking at the foreign exchange market, which is interesting. And notwithstanding, as I mentioned before, they've got a very strong relationship with China's largest e-commerce site, being Alibaba, who have, as I said before, 552 million clients, which is a lot of clients, I hasten to add. So where's the next slide here? I keep getting my slides muddled up here. So going, just looking forward, yes, there is massive, massive opportunity. They're in very, very big markets. 368 million internet users play online games in China, and they say the industry is worth billions and billions and billions. These are all figures, but these figures would be a lot higher now. Also, a lot of the cities are developing their own blockchains, and the Chinese do tend to be fairly patriotic, so I would imagine they would use probably Tron's platform more than anyone else's. There's Tenet's WeChat, which effectively has a massive amount of users. I'm not quite sure how many users they have, but it is a lot of users. There's no doubt about it. And basically Tron could even potentially announce a partnership with those guys. And if they did that, it would be off to the races pretty much. If we go to the next opportunity, they've also got a partnership with Valuation, where they've got 200 million users, like Netflix, got Gifter, a few other large partnerships, which I won't concentrate on, but you get the general idea. What else we have here? There is a huge amount of opportunities. So just going forward, obviously, WeChat could be big if they have anything to do with those guys. Also, if they, talk about, say, a partnership with Alibaba, that would be absolutely huge in itself. So Justin Sun also has said that he believes that his cryptocurrency's technology is better than Ethereum's, and effectively he believes that he's almost a speedboat, and Ethereum's the old car, so to speak. So I think it's I think they're probably going to go head and head with Ethereum. But my valuation pretty much, and I'll show this to my paying subscribers, is basically based on these figures. On Netflix is 130 million subscribers. If Tron got a few of those and started to charge them, they'd get income, annuity running income monthly, and there'd be an assumption to how many of those clients they could get. Also, if they monetize BitTorrent, which is 170 million clients, if they happen to get any of Alibaba's shoppers of 552 million, plus the internet users of 368 million users of the internet and gaming, plus any of the Baofeng users of 200 mil, and I haven't actually included anything else. So I haven't included, foreign exchange or the likes of any other business they're in or any other exposure. And I think just given those assumptions that I've done on a very simple valuation, I do believe they could potentially get up to 25 cents within about 3 to 4 months. So look, this is for educational only. And again, I've got the obligatory disclaimer here, educational only. For my God, I can't speak tonight, seriously. Probably tired. For my fee-paying clients, I'm happy to show you how I've got my simple valuation. I do a valuation on a lot of coins, and I do it for my fee-paying clients. If you're interested, please look at www.esoteric.com.au/sign on. So I'll put that on the video somehow. I've just got to work out how to do it. But anyway, I hope you're all well. I hope you get something out of this. Please look after yourselves, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you, Susie.